Hello and welcome. Today we are going to go ahead and take a look at the Executioner. So, when I was looking for inspiration for ship designs, one of the places that I regularly return to is EVE Online. Um, Not necessarily because EVE has the best ships, but because they have a lot of them. And sometimes you just need to look at a bunch of things for inspiration. So the Executioner is an EVE Online frigate of Amarian design, which means that it has to have the standard gold color here. Now, I'm sure that whoever was originally designing this ship thought, oh, let's go ahead and do like two crescent moons held together by, a bar of something. And, that would be the ship. However, much like the Eve rendition of it, it ended up looking more like two croissants held together by something, something bready. And I think I have perfectly captured that feel in this design. Now, beyond just the initial inspiration of going ahead and putting this all together and saying, this is what I want, I've also done a bunch of iterating to make it actually usable rather than just, having the cockpit in the center and having each of those wings be basically empty space. So in the end, I decided to go ahead and make this a frigate class ship. Now, frigates, um, I aim to go ahead and have them sleep at least 8 people, or have at least 8 beds on board. Have a crew of at least 4. So whatever your crew stat is on your ship, that has to read at least 4. Whether that's directly from, your cockpit alone, or a mixture of cockpit plus, say, control stations or whatever. I want them to have a cargo hold, a galley, an armory, and an infirmary. Additionally, I want them to run about 400 or so of fuel and maintain about 1,000 or so cargo capacity. Now, the in-game or the kind of lore reasons for this would be that they are long-range scout ships that need to be able to support extended multi-week deployments. In game, this works out to you can go ahead and hit up several points of interest on planets without needing to go ahead and return to unload your cargo. Now, finally, I am putting no restrictions on Starship design for this ship, so you do need Starship Design Rank 4 to build this as is. I do not think that you can get away with this ship with anything less than Starship Design Rank 1 at a bare minimum, simply because you really need those Slayton 4000 series engines to get the ship to move. The Dunn engines just do not cut it. Not Dunn. Yeah, whatever those ones are. So, this here is my favorite part of this ship. You can come over here, and then everything is centrally located within the croissants. You walk down the front, and here's your landing bay. And your vehicle fits perfectly in here without any issues. And you can walk all the way around this without any issues. Now, I have also gone ahead and done a few variations for this central cockpit because I was trying to go ahead and get this to be kind of one level here, but I just could not find any variation of cockpit that I liked with that. So I decided to go ahead and stick the landing bay under here. And I ended up choosing the Tile lander simply so that way we can have the docking access right here rather than needing it like on top or on the side of one of the sides of the ship. Because you cannot put it on top of the central piece, because as you can see here, there's other pieces above it. So let's enter the ship and take a look around. So you can see we enter into this one by one companionway. We've got our docking access right here, and then the ladder up. From here, you can see we've got our hallways, and of course, the cockpit. Now, with a few of the variations that I have done for this ship, I have considered trying to put the cockpit up one level higher, whether that's with, like, say, an overseer or Kontiki bridge, or just by going ahead and kind of putting this companionway plus the Tayo bridge up one level, and then having kind of a middle level available for whatever you want. Um, but it all came down to me wanting this on the second level, so that way when you are sitting in your bridge, and let me demonstrate here, and you go ahead and you do the first person view, you are looking straight down the center of your weapons here. And that was one of the most enjoyable parts of this ship for me, and why I decided to stick this on the second level here. So let's go ahead and take a look up here. I'm going to start by walking on over to this side of the ship. So over here, you can see that I do have the Tayo 2x2 all-in-one. We've got a bathroom located right here. Here's the ship's primary galley. Got plenty of cargo space around here. Moving over here, we find ourselves in a 2x2, or sorry, 2x1 all-in-one berth. This one is a Stroud at the moment, but you could very easily swap it out for literally any other one that you wanted. Moving forward, we find ourselves in the Tayo Captain's Quarters. Now, one of the things I will note here is I've been debating about swapping this Captain's Quarters out for an all-in-one, and then putting the Captain's Quarters down here, so that way it's a little bit more private. Speaking of which, what's down here? Looks like we have another 2x1 all-in-one berth. Again, Stroud. But again, you can make that literally any 2x1 that you want. Coming back on over here, mind the hole, we come into the working side of the ship. So over here, we are immediately entering into the 2x2 cargo hold. And this one is a Stroud. And I would choose Stroud or Deimos here, simply because of those two have a bathroom right here. So you can go ahead and basically have a bathroom on the working side of the ship. Moving over here, we find ourselves in the infirmary. And then moving forward, right now I have the control room right here. I'm thinking about swapping this particular spot out with the armory, and instead putting the control room down here instead, just so that way it's all on the same level. But I've been doing a lot of fiddling with which level I want these cross braces on, and originally they were on the lower floor, which means that you would enter directly into the armory before reaching the rest of this portion of the ship. I've also done some fiddling with trying to go ahead and use a Stroud landing bay, so that way you are walking into this level, or walking into the armory, and then you could go ahead and also put, say, your docker on the underside of it. But just lots and lots of fiddling to make myself happy with it in the end. So let's go ahead and see how the ship is built. So step one, as always, is get my colors in my palette. Alright, now normally when I build, I go ahead and delete everything and then rebuild it from scratch. Since this is probably the sixth or seventh time I have tried to rebuild this from memory, instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to rebuild the ship right over here with our reference right over here, so that way we can go ahead and double check that yes, it is actually built as I thought it was. So, first things first, our landing bay. We're going to go ahead and use the shipbed 200. Lower that down. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab your favorite Taio companionway bottom. You can use bottom A or bottom B. I'm using bottom B simply because I keep fiddling with where I want these cross braces. So it's easy to just leave this as something that I can connect things to. Similarly, going with a top B here for the exact same reasons. And then coming down over to the cockpits, grab whatever the best Taio cockpit you have is. On the underside, we will go ahead and slap on our docker. And then on the back of this, we will add some structural pieces. Taio cowlings. There we go. So that is the central portion. And then let's go ahead here. And I will note you could use the Nova cross passages for this instead of the Hope Tech, and that would indeed save you 20 mass total. Every time I looked at it, I thought that the Nova ones just seemed a little too flimsy to be holding this whole ship together. Alright, so now that we have the central part done, let's go ahead and build the sides out, starting with the halves. So on this side, I'm choosing to go ahead and grab the Taio All-in-One B. Now, I will note that you could go ahead and set this up on either side and basically have this side be the living area and this side be the control area or vice versa. However, if you're using the Taio All-in-One here, then if we have the hab crossbrace connecting on the front right here, you will be losing the bathroom. Alright, what's next? So front and back, I'm going to go ahead and grab myself Stroud All-in-Ones. So, as I mentioned, I was fiddling around with it some. This has the Stroud All-in-One here, and the Taio Captain's Quarters here. I decided let's go ahead and shift the Captain's Quarters down here. Just that way it's slightly more private. And I'm going to use the Taio Bottom B for that Captain's Quarters. Then, over here, I'm going to go ahead and grab myself the Stroud 2x2 cargo hull. And then, off the back of that, stick whatever your favorite 2x1 berth for the infirmary is. On this ship, I did use the Taio, but again, you can use literally whatever you want. Off the front of it, again, I originally had the control station, But you know what? Let's go ahead and stick that armory in right there. Again, you can swap these two halves as much as you want. And then down here, let's go ahead and grab that Deimos control station. We'll see exactly where that connects in a bit. Alright, what is next? So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start with grabbing my reactor and my grav drive. So you'll see I'm using the Spheromac reactor and then the Helios 400 grav drive. These are being hidden underneath these Stroud mid bracers, and they are basically located right here. So, or right here on the back connection points of these 2x1s. So, in order to do that, first let me go ahead and grab my engines. So I have 4 of these SA-4330s, and then I also have a pair of the Ares DT-60s here. Next, let's go ahead and grab ourselves our Stroud caps, which we're going to need to go ahead and kind of give ourselves things to attach to. We're going to put one up top, one on bottom, one on bottom, and one up top. Now that we have all of that, let's go ahead and slide these bottom ones back. And right here, I'm going to go ahead and place a Stroud mid bracer. Now, these are going to be duplication glitched up to cover our reactor and grav drive. So let's go ahead and add those now. Right over here, for my reactor, I've got the Spheromac DC-202. And then for my grav drive, I have the Helios 400. Now that these are in place, let me duplication glitch the mid bracers up. And then I can delete them and move the cap A back in place. Just like so. Okay, that finishes the back portion right here. So, moving forward, what is next? I think the next best thing is to go ahead and stick our landing gear on. Now you'll see I'm using 6 AccuLander 11s, and it doesn't really matter how I have those configured. But and you can see that I have a 2 in the back and 1 in the front of these bottom 2x1s. All right, moving forward, let's go ahead and add the rest of our kind of form here. So I want to go ahead and grab a Stroud cap, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab myself a Stroud mid bracer, and then the cap. Sorry, Stroud cowling. Now I will note that this cowling could very easily just be another AccuLander 11. I just didn't have any special reason to go ahead and use that instead. Continuing to move forward, let's go ahead and copy this into place. And then I'm going to copy one more time right here. Then let's repeat that up top. Alright. And as you can see right here, same general idea. And then we just need to kind of fill this middle part out. So back here to start, I'm going to go ahead and grab myself a Stroud Cap B. Sorry, no, not here. Need that here. Forward one. Yep, there we go. Here, I just need to go ahead and grab myself the Nova Cowling. So I've got two Nova Cowlings on the outside, one forward here, and then the second one clipping in over the Ares DT60s. And then I'm going to take one of these, rear facing, flip it, and connect it to this Stroud Cap B here, and then that connects on through. And additionally, go ahead and grab some more Stroud Cap A's. And copy the cowling. So I can place it there. Then come on down here and grab the 3 long cowling. Facing, so that way the rounder port is coming in towards the center. And then, yes, I need to have that facing inwards. And now let's go ahead and grab these nose cap C's. I have 3 nose cap C's forming this kind of little outer line here. And then a nose cap C back here. Almost done. Then here I'm going to go ahead and grab the side cap B for the weapon mount on it. And that is the shape of one side done. So now we just need to take all of that and copy it on over to the other. So starting from the back forward, grab that Stroud cowling. Again, I already have the mid bracer on that is covering the grav drive. So we'll grab the nose cap C. And then we will go ahead and copy the cap A's. We'll grab the Nova cowling. Nope. There we go. And then we will copy some more Stroud caps. We will go ahead and grab a Stroud cowling. And we will copy the Stroud cap A's forward. And then we'll grab the nose cap C, move that forward, grab the Nova cowling, copy that forward, grab the Shroud cowling, copy that forward, copy yet more cowlings forward, go ahead and grab the cap A's and the nose cap C. Then we will go ahead and grab this Nova cowling in the rear configuration. Copy on over the Stroud cap B. Pull back another nose cap A. And then we will once again copy the Stroud cap A's and the nose cap C. And grab those Tayo side caps right there like that. So that is the general shape done. However, there's a few things that we are missing. And the best way to find that is if we come on over here and we delete this top layer. We'll find I am hiding my shield, my cargo, my fuel, more cargo, underneath these 3x1 caps. So let's go ahead and put that in place. So on any of these three connections, does not really matter which one, it's all going to be hidden. We are going to go ahead and place 400 cm ballast cargo holds. Then we are going to go ahead and place the deflector SG-60 shield. And then we are going to go ahead and place the H-30 Atlas HE-3 tank. Then we're going to take these 3x1s and flip them back into place to hide that. So now that that's all done, we can delete our reference ship. We have an unattached module. Oh. There we go. Now it's an attached module. Alright, so all that's left now is our weapons. So for this ship, as a kind of lighter class A ship, and with me wanting to go ahead and stick the weapons up basically down the center line, I decided to go ahead and run the non-auto Vaporizer 35 MEVs. And then the non-auto PB50 proton beams. Another thing I could go ahead and consider running instead of the PB50s would be the Disruptor 3310s, but I can fit 4 of them on, and that just started. It would mean that I would have one other weapon somewhere. So that's why I stuck with these ones. Go ahead and assign those weapons. Alright, and somewhere, I see. Somewhere I swapped something around. I think it was probably, oh yes, I had the Tayo was mid instead of bottom. So that's why the total is slightly different. So let's go ahead and put our colors back on. And there we go. That totally wasn't painful at all to build this. Totally. Just keep telling that to yourself. And with the small tweaks I did, now we can come on over here and see that we have the all-in-one, and then the captain's quarters is a little bit more private down here. And then on this side of the ship, we have the cargo hold, and then we have the armory on the same level, now with the control station down below. Alright, now that we've done all of that, let's go ahead and see how the ship performs. Alright, so now that we've got all of our power assigned, you can see how the ship performs in first person and third person. And now let's head on out to Serpentis. Where'd that rock come from? Alright. And I've got two more. And I'm a little low on shield. Let's go ahead and gain some distance. Alright. Alright. So now we are going to go ahead and let our shields recharge. And with only one left, now we can afford to dive in. Whee. There we go. And then we can go grab our loot. Definitely grab the ship parts. It's always the most important loot to grab. And the other fun part about grabbing your loot is that it gives your ship components time to repair. Oh, now that we've got all that, let's go ahead and find the hostile activity. Go check that out. I've got 4 bogeys. Alright. Let's go ahead and change to go more this way and slow down to about 140 so that way he can catch us. Oh, hey. You're getting way too close. Alright, let's go ahead, get some distance again, let our shields recharge. Slow back down to about 130. And then see who's closest. Ah, a Dirge 2. He's boosting at me. And then I've got the Dirge 3 here. Just keep firing. Alright, and then he's got some distance. We will let our shields recharge and then we'll dive him. Good enough. Whee. There we go. Alrighty then. So if you watched all the way to the end, thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all those YouTube things. And I will see you in the next one.